Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? It's me, Jeremy Alexander Newsom with Real Life Trading. I hope you are doing most gloriously fantastic. It is Friday, the week is over, the stock market is now closed by the time you're getting this. The weekend plans will be quickly approaching for you. Hope you're ready for a great weekend. I most certainly am. This weekend we are renting out 2 cabins on the beach in Hawaii and going golfing and boating and swimming, and we got the Real Life Trading meetup on Saturday. It's going to be a legendary weekend for the books, so I'm pretty pumped about that. I'm ready. I'm amped. All right, so let's talk about the SPY today. The interesting thing is the INX, which is the S&P 500, did make a new all-time high today. This isn't updated yet on the actual index itself for TradingView, but SPY did not make an all-time high today. So this SPY candle is current. Now that's totally fine that it's not matching it precisely, but it is a little odd. I will admit that. So the interesting thing on SPY, the good news is we did have a weekly options newsletter trade set up that happened just a few days ago, and that one did in fact trigger in on Tuesday. And if you did not get a chance to trigger in on Tuesday, that exact same trade actually did trigger in yesterday as well, yesterday being Thursday. And the great part is about all of that, that particular trade from the weekly options newsletter did hit target 1 today. So here was that weekly options newsletter. For those who don't have a chance to get subscribe to this, it's very easy to do. Just go to reallifetraining.com, click on the premium classes, and click on weekly options newsletter and check it out. But yeah, the trade setup was just simply buying the SPY 226 call expiring January 13th. That's next Friday. And you'll notice here that I was also eyeing Tesla, PayPal, Lockheed Martin, and Disney all bullish. I didn't really know which trade to pick out of the weekly options newsletter, so I went with SPY. Disney would have worked a little too well. Here's ticker symbol DIS. So that one I would have worked flawlessly, in fact, because on Disney, here's the daily chart, getting that pulled up for you right now. On the daily chart with Disney, you had this beautiful flag pattern right here, a bearish candle, and you had a bullish gap and go that occurred on Tuesday. So Tuesday definitely was a little bit more bullish overall on the markets and with that gap up. So Disney just crushing it, making some big moves. PayPal also making some really big moves since Tuesday. It's up large. And then Lockheed Martin, ticker symbol LMT, is up as well nicely since Tuesday. So all of them actually would have worked. I could have created a trade on all 4 trades, and it would have worked out just fine. So for those who got triggered in, which is pretty much everyone who followed it, Brandon Tucker, Sean Bennett, Doug, Roberto, Marie Sykes, Steven Steckler, Angela, and I mean hundreds of other traders. Congratulations. High fives all around. Well done. Target 1 on SPY is reached, and we still have an entire week to go for target 2. So we'll just kind of have to see. I'm really thinking that we're going to get a small pullback potentially on Monday. And then a little bit of a rest. The big news really today is that the Dow did not hit 20,000. That was the big news. So the high of today was 19,999 and 63 cents. Wow, 37 cents below 20,000. Here's the actual ETF that tracks the Dow, and you'll see the high of it was 199.83. The high of this candle was 199.83. So we're talking about the exact same high. So my thought is, really sometime early next week that we probably do make that all-time high in the markets. I think we barely do it. Boop. Everyone gets on board. They're like, oh man, the Dow, we're at an all-time high now. And then we get a little bit more of a pullback, something like that, and then we get a little bit of a dip buying opportunity. That's just what I think is going to happen on the DIA itself and potentially the Dow Jones itself as well. I'm not a bear by any means. I'm just thinking up here at these levels it's going to be a little bit hard to buy at the literal all-time high at a big $20,000 mark. But the interesting thing about it is a great breakout. I mean, this is a stair-step, small distribution phase 101, and the 20 EMA coming up to prop it up as a support. So I guess we'll just kind of have to see what transpires. Here's Tesla, ticker symbol TSLA. So this was the other one that I had mentioned on the weekly options newsletter that I was also bullish on starting from Tuesday. And you can see starting from Tuesday, we were also up over 15 points since Tuesday on Tesla. So again, every single one of those trades would have worked. So even if you didn't get a chance to trade SPY, which it did trigger and it did work out, you could still have maybe potentially snagged one of these four, just kind of thrown in there as a goodie bag on the weekly options newsletter. We'll be talking about this in just a second. So Tesla making this move. I have a new wager on Tesla, actually. So this one was the crazy idea of Mr. Donald Hancock, but it was Tesla. We're looking at it bullish. We had a limit buy as of Wednesday. Wanted a retest of 222.86, which that did trigger yesterday. We made a little bit of a higher high today. So if you're in Tesla bullish, awesome. Stands in Tesla bullish with a put sale at 200. Here's your long-term moving averages. I'm going to pull up a weekly chart. And on the weekly, we have closed and broken through the 200. So the bet or the wager is I'm going to eat a whole unpeeled banana if Tesla breaks the low of this week's candle. So very, very good volume, beautiful double bottom down here. We're making higher highs. I could easily see us retesting the 100 simple next week and then probably bouncing and continuing a little bit higher. But that's if it breaks this week's candles before earnings. So the good news is you have about an entire month before earnings on Tesla. The other good news is earnings season is right around the corner. Alcoa going to kick it off next week, and most of you are aware that next week is the open house for real life trading. We are going to release to the public the morning trading room, the weekly afternoon swing trading room, and the weekly options newsletter, all for free, all for everyone, starting next week. It's going to go from Monday until Friday, just to give traders a peek into how the operations of the room work, how the time frames work out, what type of trades we look at, and hopefully answer any questions that you might have. Hopefully we'll get some traders who will join us in the room so that we can all make money together. Right? Trading as a team makes it much easier to succeed in trading. Right? It can be a very lonely game. So when you're trading with other people, it absolutely can help expedite your growth exponentially. So that's going to be all of next week. Really pumped to be trading with all of you on those days. So you'll be getting a link to your morning and afternoon rooms in an email within 24 business hours. Keep your eyes on your inbox. You'll be getting that actually probably tomorrow, and those will be starting Monday. And the interesting thing is, again, next week is going to kick off earnings season. So perfect timing if you ask me. So you're going to have Alcoa kicking off. We'll be talking about what Alcoa is going to be doing. Netflix is coming up right around the corner. Shout outs to a lot of traders, Amy, Mike, Matt Spray, and Murray, who I think had an opportunity to trade Netflix pretty well today. So Netflix made a new all-time high today. A bunch of white candles breaking out the all-time high. This is a beautiful pullback. We'll talk a lot about earnings on Netflix coming up here soon and what I foresee on it. Here's Micron Technology, ticker symbol MU. And Micron Technology, this was requested by my good buddy, Mr. Jennings. And Micron, this is a very strong bullish gap. Actually, a bullish gap and go. And the fact that we have broken this gap and we are starting to fill the gap, my thought is we will continue to do so on Micron. Now, I could be wrong about that, but this is really kind of my intentions. I'm thinking we're going to slowly trade lower into about 2073, where from there we will potentially bounce. This was a very large gap, by the way, very, very huge, and the trend had already been extremely bullish on Micron. Right, so it makes sense that we're going to get a little bit of fade action on MU for it to pull back into some supports and then potentially buy the dip, or at least that's what I'm looking forward to on Micron. Apple today, up nicely, closing right on my purple line, which is this resistance at approximately 118. The high of today, 118.16. Had a 120 covered call expire today on Apple, and then the next covered call I'll be doing, actually going over earnings, $130 on Apple for 27 cents. Not a lot of premium up there, but I really would not be upset at all about getting exercise on Apple at 130. Folks, the pennant pattern is here, the exact same one that I created in the winter portfolio. So if Apple breaks out, I'll look for the retest and then buy the dip. I think Apple is going to continue to go bullish into the end of the year. Not the end of the year. The beginning of the year, quarter one, quarter two, into $130. I think we fill this giant space here. It's going to take some time, obviously. Earnings could obviously help that endeavor. But I'm just going to be patient on on the longer term perspective on Apple, but shorter term, absolutely watching this beast for a bullish move. Amazon was some of the best analysis I've done in a while on Amazon. And those traders who subscribed to the afternoon floor got to see every single day transpire. So back on the 3rd of January, which was Tuesday, Tech Giant Tuesday, I mentioned Amazon broke down a tad bearish out of the triangle, which you guys can see. Best case scenario for the bears, I think would trade down and bounce off the 200. I'll be looking for a bullish gap that traps these bears to go long. So that was my analysis. So I was thinking to myself, yes, you broke out the triangle, but I'm not sold on it. This was the start of the bullish gap that happened on the 3rd. We got a little bit of a bullish gap. And then the next day, right, we did gap actually. We opened above the high of Tuesday's candle on Wednesday. And then just yesterday, here's my analysis. So after Wednesday's candles closed, my analysis was getting in long 759.89 by 70.54.02. Some traders just wrecking it on Amazon yesterday, trading it to the 100 something moving average. All things looking good on Amazon. Beautiful stuff. Looking forward to continue long from here. Great volume, great gap, great candles, great everything. I know it's expensive. This is the one I'll be trading with options. Watch for a little bit of a pullback on Amazon and then buy the dip. Let's just do 2 or 3 more. Alibaba today, BABA, bounced beautifully off the 200 something moving average and off the fib. A lot of traders having some calls, shares, put sales, all kinds of things work out so far on Alibaba. So we can take this fib off. It did bounce at the appropriate level on Baba. We'll probably continue to stay in between the long-term moving averages until earnings. We'll just kind of see what happens from there. Let me see if I'm missing anything other than that. Friday, Facebook. Yes, let's look at Facebook really quick. And I know I'm just talking about a bunch of winners right now, but really this week I haven't seen a lot of losers. There was some. I had a put on SPY that I bought on Tuesday that I got into a strangle, 226 calls and 224 puts. So the puts lost an R, and obviously we all know what the calls did. But really, overall through this week, there actually wasn't a lot of losers. It was a phenomenal week, a great way to start 2017. And for all the traders who just crushed Facebook this week, congratulations. D-Chance was one of those with a put sale. Really, this was a trade that we've been watching. Obviously, we watch Facebook pretty much every single day, but you had this just beautiful channel set up. Patricia Seaver-Bradley did amazing on this one. Melanie did very well. Justin Jeffrey, Justin Linderman, Mike, Amy. A lot of traders who we bought Facebook here, made money. We decided to do it again, made money. And then some traders did it again and made money 3 times a lady on Facebook. So great job, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the long-term moving averages. And my good buddy Stephen King is looking for a potential bearish move now off of the 100 simple based on the giant run up. So the bearish move, I'm thinking if we get one, it'll probably be a 2 to 3 day, very small flag pattern, and then Facebook will likely continue higher potentially as well with a nice little triple bottom looking thing. Here's your weekly chart. Weekly candle, safe to say, looks more bullish than bearish, especially if it pulls back. Here's your 50 exponential moving average. So yeah, small pullback on Facebook into about 120, and we should get a nice little pop from that one. And I think we have one more. Yes, one more is AOBC. So just as an update, Smith & Wesson did officially change their name from their company and their ticker. We were talking about that some today. SWHC, Smith & Wesson Holding Companies. They're no longer a thing as far as the name or the ticker, and now it's AOBC, American Outdoor Brands Corporation. So we'll see what the investors and how the investors kind of digest that news and that brand/marketing change. But I can tell you, down here at 21, it is a good support level. So if you're a big fan of the company or you're at least watching it to go bullish, this is the area that you're going to be keeping an eye on it for it to buy low, sell high. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching this Friday Real Life Stock Review. Next week's going to be a big week. Keep your eyes out for the links. Let me know if you have any questions. Let's change the world together, ladies and gentlemen. Let's enrich lives. That's the mission at Real Life Trading. I am truly honored and privileged to be working with such incredible traders from all around the world every single day. Thank you for making my dreams come true. Just educating, teaching, and trading, and working for myself, being my own boss, helping, teaching, doing all the things I want to do without worries of getting fired. It's an amazing feeling. Thank you for your support. Have a great weekend. I will see you later. And until next time, remember, love life, and trade it. Bye.